Absolutely, the headlines right here at Odenigbo 99.1 FM. Still keeping tabs on developments in and around the country. We're going to be focusing on Anambra State this Monday morning, and it's going to be on sensitizing in the Anambra on strict enforcement of the Anambra State Environmental Law 2024. Sensitizing in the Anambra on strict enforcement of the Anambra State Environmental Law 2024. Well, starting from today, Monday the 24th of November, a new phase of strict implementation of the Anambra State environmental laws is set to commence. The State Commissioner for Environment, Dr. Felix Odenigbo, last week inaugurated a multi-agency task force made up of Anambra State Waste Management Authority, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, OCHA Brigade, and the Anambra State Erosion, Watershed and Climate Change Agency to implement the full enforcement of the Environmental Management Protection and Administration Law 2024. The initiative aims to strengthen environmental protection, curb erosion, improve sanitation, and maintain global environmental standards across the state. With this, the era of appealing to residents to keep the state clean is over. A clean and safe Anambra is no longer an option, but an obligation. Residents have therefore been urged to take the directive seriously to avoid penalties, including fines and possible imprisonment. In preparation for the enforcement, the Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra OCHA Brigade, one of the enforcement agencies, has recruited no fewer than 200 new personnel, adding to a task force responsible for sanitation, street trading control, traffic obstruction, waste management compliance, and environmental discipline across the state. So, as enforcement resumes at full scale, in today's discussion segment, we ask, what exactly does full enforcement mean for residents, traders, transporters, homeowners, and businesses? What constitutes an environmental offense, and what penalties are attached? How will the OCHA Brigade balance fairness with professionalism to avoid a repeat of past confrontations and controversies? How much cooperation is needed from residents to ensure that enforcement does not turn into confrontation? And most importantly, can this new approach finally give Anambra the clean and healthy environment it deserves? My name is Njideka Favor Gilbert, co-anchor is here. Of course, our analyst, Nelson Way and Chagozinzaka, are also here. And now, joining us to shed more light on these issues is Comrade Agbafune Anthony Onyekwelu, Deputy Managing Director, Superintendent General, and Public Relations Officer of the OCHA Brigade. Good morning, Comrade. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure, Ms. Maduka.
Right. Indeed. Let's start with condolences. You just told us a few minutes ago that you were bereaved, but you had to still come. Duty calls, and you had to be here. So, our condolences.
Thank you. I appreciate so much.
Right. We want to talk about sensitizing in the Anambra on strict enforcement of the Anambra State environmental law. From what I've personally observed, it seems we are entering a new phase of enforcement. It's not like enforcement had not always been there, but there's something about this particular one. We have heard agencies like yours, OCHA Brigade, the Ministry of Environment reading the Riot Act, saying this is what you're supposed to do. And by November 24, if you don't do it, this is what you stand to face in the course of law. But then again, I've heard comments as well from people who actually are sarcastic about the government move, saying, well, Governor Soludo has been re-elected. He wants to show his color. Let's really understand what's prompting this new phase of enforcement. What do Anambra State people expect, or what do you expect from them? Why are we having this new phase of enforcement as far as environmental laws are concerned?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Maduka. I appreciate so much. And they say environment helps innovation and innovation helps environment. First of all, before touching the crux of the matter, I have to give kudos to our solution governor, for his formative and the trajectory that align with his mantra and charges, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR. I was happy, gladdened when you mentioned the man of the environmental house, that is Dr. Engineer Felix Odimegu. I didn't just come here alone as a servant. I was privileged to do. It was my principal that's supposed to come out, but he gave me a go-ahead. That is in the person of Comrade Anere Celestine A. Is a quintessential fellow so far issue of environmental peace is concerned. I call him the bridge builder across all environmental obstacles. You see, regarding what we come here today, is just like harmonizing things for a family. Sensitization is just one aspect of the process of operation, and usually be the first step. If you check up our press release and also even the press briefing, my principal, Comrade Anere Celeste, had with a lot of pressmen, inclusive of your senior correspondent, Mr. Ozemene, last week, is still trying to let our people to know that we have to put our house in order. Sensitization is the first step. After sensitization, sanitization. After sanitization, before you get to enforcement. And enforcement, when you hear enforcement, it's two Latin words joined together, coined together, if you really want to follow the phenonym or a sort of a phonetics and phonology. Enforce means cohesion. If you Google it, it is compulsion. In literal and also some of our local parlance, they call it reading. To get me. But the main aspect of it is when you get the specialists, those who work and also toil and obey the golden rule of law, which is acting within the ambit of the law. You understand? So that meant that's the essence of bringing the military or paramilitary to cushion the effect. Because when someone engages in enforcement, there are two things that are involved, both positive and negative emotion. So if you are not well trained, you will exhibit much of the negative emotion, and it will never be good for the polity. You see, the essence of going through the new reform and repair law of environmental law of Anambra State, that is number 4, it was repealed after the 2016-2017 on 29th November 2024. And it has an interface with the AJCL, Administrative Justice Criminal Law. You see, so the essence of enforcement is to put house in order. And if you check our press release, where we mentioned the 14 topical prohibition and protections, it's just to go in line with what we are preaching, and also in line with the concept of our name, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, synonymously HES, HES. HES means health, environment, and safety. So when you are preaching such, and if you check up on the press release, we say massive reminder to tell you it didn't start today. Since 2016, we've been hitting on this. But there are some aspects like issue of car wash spots, issue of mining, people illegal mining without having EIA, which is environmental impact assessment, or those who open up a car wash at the frontier, allowing the fluents and the waste entering into the diverging gully or gutter, blocking the way, causing slides, causing erosion. Now the rainy season is about to hit. If you didn't, take care of it, it will never be to the advantage of the populace. That's why we come up to remind our people that it is time for them to uphold, the golden rule, which is law. The first thing, even biblically, what the disciples at the time they're interfacing with the little Jesus that was fortified spiritually and humanly, he asked them, if you love me, obey my commandment. So rules and regulation have its impact. We have the 3 pillars that you have to checkmate very well. What are those 3 pillars? One is law. Law is the something that give you the authority, the immunity window to act and tell your people, wake up. You're supposed not to be here. You're supposed to be here for your safety. Then another is order. Order is that enforcement. Then after order, you have justice. Trying to do what? You use due diligence to trade with caution, have an empathy. Because not just because they called some people to cushion the effect, as I rightly say, that it was a Latin word joined in two places, which is enforced and meant. Meant is the task force, like OCHA Brigade is the first task force statutory, corporately approved and assented as far back as 2016. You know, so continuously they are the state task force, and they have been working cordially with other great media, ministry, department, and agencies. I love, as you went into retrospect, to mention a couple of minutes ago that the man of the house, the man that is like a custodian of the Ministry of Environment, in the person of Dr. Engineer Felix Odenigbo, he put up a charge for other colleagues to join him, both the NUMAT, both Aswama, Agda, Agda is Osionuko is for Agda, a young man who is so highly blessed with knowledge. Atma, Anambra Road Transport Management Authority. You see Gino Keke, which is Conti. Then my boss, Anere Celestine A. Afamefne. I say that I usually ascribe and call him the bridge builder across all the environmental obstacles. Because since he came to place and assumed office, he has finished the first tenure. His first tenure elapsed on 26th of October 2020. He picked up the mantle of leadership on 26th October 2022, and they have done marvelously. Even the blind can confess. The blind in Anambra can say the truth. So what we've touched some other media, which we know that's the tunnel where reconciliation can come to meet up the Admas, so that the populace of Anambra State, both big, both rich, both poor, will be able to put himself or herself into a very safety position. We that are the servant trying to follow up the charge of the solution governor. It doesn't mean that tomorrow we still fall into the larger society. So the essence of enforcement is not to indict any person, rather than is to add value, to go in line with the concept of what our name synonymously exposed to the world, which is that HES, health, environment, and safety. So
right. Okay. It's good that you appointed some of those things. I'm able to pick out what you said, including there are seeming new, would I say, laws that people need to understand, like the car washing operations thing. People who are into car washing business,
that they need to have a closed catchment pit.
Right. We're going to emphasize on all of those things, but I need to point out perhaps people who had not been monitoring what OCHA Brigade is doing, because for some people, OCHA Brigade is just about restricting street trading, making sure that the gullies are, desilted. But you're bringing in the issue of car washing, an issue of illegal excavation at mines. I'm also seeing stopping illegal scraps. That's iron condemn.
Yes, those who are buying or selling.
Yes,
they need to have the documents.
Right, we're going to pick them one by one, but I need to understand when you demarcated what is being done now, because you talked about the phases of operation. You talked about sensitization,
as the first,
sanitation,
sanitization,
and
sanitize before you go into enforcement.
So, which stage are we at the moment, so that Anambrans can really understand what is going on? Are we in enforcement or sensitization?
At the moment, is lighter, massive sensitization in line with enforcement. But enforcement is intensive. That's why you see in the press release, we mentioned massive sensitization to the general public. You get me? Because repetition is just another additive formula to good knowledge. Learning is less or modulative permanent change in behavior. Learning is cumulative, learning is adaptive, learning is functional, and learning is life. And the moment you say you are tired of learning, that means that you are tired of life. You see, so we try to bring those information, which they have known for a long time, like the issue of that car wash. A person operating on a car wash area in a market frontier or in a hotel or sort of nature, without having a catchment pit, putting up all the affluent inside it, it's causing a lot of problem. But if you have a closed catchment pit, from that catchment pit, the wastewater can be channeled to the diverging gullies, and it will be perfectly secure.
So basically, what you're saying to car wash owners is the fact that from today, you're supposed to have closed catchment pits.
Right.
You are sensitizing them. You are also telling them enforcement has begun. So anybody who is falling short of that expectation should do something about it.
We receive that criminal code, so penal code action, you get me, that is being exposed within the Anambra, that is the AJCL 2022 with interface to Anambra Environmental Law, you get me, of 2024, which was reformed on 29th November 2024. So they are all in action. So whoever that is being committed a suspect, the first thing is that you don't have catchment pit, which means there's a fine for it. Because the State Assembly is not OCHA Brigade. Again, we have defined the fine, which is the penal code, to address some other issue. Then there's other penalties. But issue of fine is what the statutory corporate, from the Anambra House of Assembly have already placed. The tariff is there, it's open. Then issue of penalty is that maybe if the person that committed a sin have been or show some lackadaisical attitude, you will go in for it, because someone who is going to enforce on something also is not going with ordinary water. I think the logistic expenses, that is the penalty, but the fine is well defined, and each and all of them know it. The same thing with those of this iron condemn.
We'll pick them one by one. We'll pick them one by one. Can we have an idea as to the penalty attached to this car washing operators, and if there had been any move to, speak to them one by one beyond the media now? Do they have an idea that this is starting off today, honestly? And what have they said to you? Have there been any kind of complaint, expression of concerns coming from them?
Oh, yeah. Regarding, one thing with the Black Africans, you get me? At times, when you talk about enforcing a law, some people thought it just like a taboo. No. Enforcing a law is a pure reconciliation. Just like when you see the 5 sensory memory, the 5 psychomotors in your body. If it doesn't interface very well with the immune radicals, you get me, your body system will not be in order. So what OCHA Brigade and the government is trying to do is to make sure that so far we want and also preach that we will like Anambra to be a sort of a destination hub and not departure hub. We want Anambra to look like the Dubai of the old. We want Anambra to be crime-free. We want Anambra to be green. You get me? Clean, livable, prosperous. You get me? There is no way you can cook an omelette without breaking an egg. You get me? So these are the things, and those who may not understand it, being some of us that have been trained, some of us that have been outside the country, we like to remove that primedivia, that negative feelings, to tell them, no, you are not going to be killed. It is something that will place you into safety. I've rightly mentioned that because when people hear our basic name, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, some people will say, oh, are they not sweeping the road? Are they not? Because the Bible said that cleanness is closer to godliness. But I told you it goes beyond that. That's why I say synonymously it is his health, environment, and safety. When you didn't discuss the safety of your neighbor, your brother, your words, I mean, you are not right. You are not doing good. You are not pleasing God. And when you even go to the point of allowing your brother or your word not to be adherent to rules and regulations, you are not helping that person. I rightly mentioned a couple of minutes ago on retrospect, biblically, when the Lord Jesus asked his disciples, do you love me? They said they love you. They say, if you love me, do what? Obey my commandment. This is the simple rule.
Well, yes. The people can love Jesus, but the question is, do they have the means to exhibit that love? And that was why I asked that question.
It's for their safety.
For their safety.
Right. It's for their safety. And for them, those who are doing business for them to actualize, because what matters in the business is for you to focus on the end product. End product where the bundle of utility. Because if you didn't reconcile your way, you trade on unhygienic environment, and on the way you are being killed before reaching, which means you have already lifted your intention, but you kiss the dust before it, which death form a sentinel in the doormat of your success, which OCHA Brigade don't want. And the government don't want. Solution governor don't want that. He's a man that has traversed and he knows what is good. Likewise, the man of the house in the environment where OCHA Brigade is domicile. You get me?
Yes, sorry, Favor. Comrade Onyekwelu, I think we need to, because this is for the people, right? I wanted to chip in for us to have an understanding of what everybody expects, and that was why I asked the question: had there been any complaint from these people? Because when you're doing something, you're used to doing something, and there is enforcement from government, you can be shocked. You might not want to cooperate. So I'm wondering, in the course of sensitization, have you received any complaint from some of these operators? Is there something they think will be challenging for them before they can abide by government
prescription, by
close catchment? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I love that. You see one thing, when you want to tell somebody on how he or she will travel, and you didn't define the geographical mapping, which is the compass, that person didn't know, like economist said by Professor Lona Robin, he said it is a means to an end. If you don't know the means, there's no way you can know the end. Sure. You see, so the effect is just to make sure, instead of whipping sentiment, we have to let them know at the point of sensitization. That's why I put it there, and the PRO and the image maker, that it is a massive sensitization, reminding you, not that it is no, it has been there. Then for you to perfect in your business, you get me, you need to do the needful. You get me? Another business economic Latin word say, uberene fide, utmost good faith.
So basically they have always known, so you just want them to
know, and complaint will continue coming.
Okay,
but it's just when complaint come, you try to put the person in a very good light.
Right.
And know it very well. At that point of enforcement period, they don't usually jump in and start saying to define the person. Because what matters most is that when somebody trying to beat a cow or beat a dog and remove anything like a taunt or bedbug from the body, you have to show the person. You get me? So the jurisdiction where you happen to cut that person and to put that person into caution, you have to let that person know. That's why at the point of enforcement, they used to give them what they usually call contravention paper. Contravention paper that will have an expiring hour or date. They may give you 3 months or 2 weeks for you to do the amendment, which they usually call abatement. You get me? Right. So when they see that you are doing the right thing, nobody will caution you. But so far you kept a deaf ear, feeling that you used left hand, say, na de sabi. You get me? So this time around that the law have come into force, immediately they accost you, you have already committed the first sin, which is that fine. Right. The fine, like the car wash, is fine of 30,000. You have committed it. Then you start building your catchment pit, because you must do that. If you don't do that, they will chase you off from that environment. Another thing, you have to back yourself with EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. And to collect Environmental Impact Assessment approval, you must pass through Ministry of Mineral Resources and also Ministry of Environment. You get me? Even those selling scraps. Not when you rush into somebody, you notice that the yard is somehow empty, you rush and pull up the person gen and discard it or thereabout and start saying you are doing that. So both the buyer and seller, you must go through the right way. And get those papers.
Right. I know Anambrarians will be worried about the fact that, because over time people have, witnessed selective enforcement, whereby those members of OCHA Brigade will go outside to enforce a particular rule, and some persons are defaulting, some persons are not defaulting, and you find out that even the ones that are defaulting, that they select the people that they apprehend. And many laws has been read out. New laws has been read out. Will there be selective enforcement? And how are you going to ensure that members of OCHA Brigade do what they are supposed to do, not the kind of enforcement that will lead to chaos. Remember the one that happened in Main Market some months ago? Will such issue continue? How will you regulate, your members from doing what they are supposed to do?
Okay. That one thing is needful. I love as you put, but we still attach our pity, again, in regard to what happened. Because when the house is not in order, again, anything can come up. But when the house is in order, there's nothing, The issue of the Main Market or Southern Nature, again, that one is just a clustered confusion. You get me? Because when you say you are indulging in communication is simple language, is nothing but control towards a desired end. When the transmitter or a coder didn't pass information through the right media, and from the right media to the decoder or receiver, then the receiver, for himself to do the effective communication, will pass through the feedback model. You get me? To be able, but at times you have what they call semantic perception. Communication breakdown. This area where you are coming up for those who usually go into compromise. Whether you are a child, whether you are a bystander, whether you are a suspect, everybody remains to be a suspect. But any OCHA brigade that does a sort of partiality, you get me, enforcing here without enforcing the other side, or trying to impersonate, you get me, we even place it across. If you hear my voice at Wazobia, even ABS, impersonation is a first-class mortal sin. Some people will do and pretend, go to Yuna village and say, da OCHA, you get me, immediately get that person Europe. Even the men OCHA with you, after all, the 12 disciples, is it not one person? You get me, Judas happened to deceive, but even the money, the 30 shekel, did they eat it? No. Even the bicemetery, they did eat it. So a defaulter is a defaulter. And when a defaulter is being pronounced, it will be cleanly established. That's why I mentioned about the golden rule. You must trade within the caution, and you must trade within the ambit of the law. And you must obey the three pillars that are faced within the penal code and the criminal code. What are they? One is the law, which is that gave you authority. Another is the order that allow you to enforce. Another is the what? Justice. And justice must, because whoever that pervert justice will come back to visit it. Any perversion of justice will boomerang. That's what they are championed into the law of nature, law of retributive attack, law of nemesis, id baptismal name, law of karma. You get me? So we operate in professionalism and neutralism. You get me?
Right.
So such a thing can come up. Okay?
Right, Comrade Onyekwelu, you talked about, the encoder of the message and the receiver of the message.
The encoder, which is the transmitter.
Right. Miscommunication leading to confrontation. Right. What is the means to check it? Because after what happened in Onitsha Main Market, I'm sure a lot of people are curious as to what has been done differently to ensure that the encoder of the message, in this case, OCHA Brigade personnel, have upgraded in their means of communication, during enforcement. What is the evidence to show that these people will do better now that we're having a kind of a new phase of enforcement?
If you know, in our paramilitary concept, training is something of continuous. Again, it is a continuous something. No one is a champion forever. Again, but retraining, going for refresher course matters. I love as you really, you captured it for the last aspect of a group. That is the 200 that was trained at a smart school, Isiago, currently. They came out on 31st of August. Before then, when Anere took up the mantle of leadership, 145 was trained at alongside the old staff at Umawoloso Mbauku. You get me? So, but we have the benchmark of 300 right from 2016, 2017. You get me? So, join them together. Retraining will continue going on, but that will not make the management, you get me, to overlook unnecessary how will I call it? Compromise.
Infractions. Yeah.
You get me? You see, the issue of the encoder and the decoder reconciling very well, which I mentioned the feedback model. If I say, give me red biro, and at the end, I saw blue biro, does the communication effect? It's not effective. You get me? So, but we have the things that champion, they make communication to be effective. One, the 4C. Again, communication must be concise, it must be concrete, it must be complete. And there, It must be concise. 4. It must face the 4R. What are the 4R? It must generate from the right person through the right media at the right time to the right receiver. Are you getting me? And again, it will be interwoven again with the 5W. Are you getting me? When you are passing the information, the decoder, the transmitter, you will ask, who do I want to pass this information? What sort of integrity and academic knowledge does this person have? When will I do that? Of what purpose? And where? Have you seen it?
All right.
Okay.
Just for us to also get clarity, we are talking about communication here.
Yeah.
It's because of those in the rural areas.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your sensitization roadmap.
Yes.
And your sensitization format.
Mm.
And are you doing this just within those in the urban area?
Urban or municipal? No.
What is your plan and what have you done to
We
make
are
sure
already, right from 2016, we have the 3 zones.
Like conducting town
office.
hall meetings for those, because this is about environment.
Apparently.
If the old woman in the village does not understand anything, she may go to jail because she was not communicated to.
Yes.
So what is your plan for the old boy in the village, the old woman in the village, to really understand this new program?
You see, we don't work alone. Are you get me? The effectiveness of teaching goes along with leverage. Let the left join the right. It takes 2 to tango. Are you get me? So, OCHA Brigade have their command office, the headquarters at OCHA, Agwaka. We spread our tentacle to 21 local governments. Are you getting me? Through the 3 zonal command. And these 3 zonal command used to penetrate, one, to reach the grassroots, and also for proximity sake. Okay. And at the time, we don't usually go only with the electronic media alone, which is above the line media. We go also with below the line media, which is a face-to-face. Are you getting me? The people that works with the ad hoc personnel, the TUC personnel, and some of the neighborhood carers in various local government, they talk with them face to face. At times it goes with flyer.
All right.
And you see, I told you that last week, even one of your staff, which is the senior correspondent by name of Zemene, was at the press briefing, by the MD. And this is how we used to champion the cause. But we still further and also to spread our tentacle to make sure that we have sub zones from this time around. Okay?
Okay, Comrade, thank you very much for your wonderful briefing. You are really doing well.
Thank you, dear.
Anyway, my own is Celestine Anere.
My principal.
Yes, your principal.
The MD Sokesji.
Yeah, I know he's doing very well.
Okay.
Because I've worked directly with him as a marshal coordinator.
Okay. You plan the 4x4.
Yeah, so and I know his antecedent and some other things.
Okay.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is that our people need this kind of laws so that we can be able to checkmate our activities and excesses. Because I could remember after they were withdrawn, after the main market incident, I discovered that going back to that same axis, you will see that people are now coming out, doing their trading on the road and some other things. But when they were there, when they were operational before the election, you will discover that vehicles were moving, people are doing their businesses. But now that they are no longer there or something, people are now doing their business illegally and bringing it outside.
We've stepped it since last week.
So I like it. But where I have a reservation is on the hard work staff. Those people that we recruit, it's not those ones that went for training. You just mentioned about the people that went for training.
The coordinators.
Yes, the coordinators.
Now,
the hard work is where we have problem. Okay. Because so many of them
in this current dispensation, to assure you, just a few of them, the ad hoc that stopped there.
Okay.
They stopped here.
Okay.
I think they need their job.
So if we can be able to look inward and know the kind of people that we put in task force and some other things, that is where this OCHA Brigade will not have a problem. But if we go ahead to recruit all Dick and Harry, those that are hungry, those that are under influence of alcohol, those are, you will discover that there will still be a bad influence and bad energy to the name of the OCHA Brigade. They are doing very well, apparently. But we need to look inward and know the kind of people that we are working with. Thank you.
I appreciate you so much.
All right. You don't have anything to respond to?
No. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
You get me? Rome wasn't built in a day. I made mention about learning.
Right.
That learning is less or more relative permanent change in behavior. And learning is cumulative. Learning is adaptive. Learning is functional. And learning is life. And the day you say you are tired, you get me? Apparently, so they need to be cautious. You get me? And from now on, you will see a very big change.
Right.
An area, as you are mentioning, my principal is entering the second tenor. He started the second tenor on 27th of October 2025. He finished the 3 years on 26th of October 2025. He did well, to my own view. It's left for you people to do. So we should join hand, issue of enforcement, issue of operation, you get me, before the public. It's not one-man job.
All right.
Right from your home. I'm a British strain. Right from your home, you start cautioning people not to throw trash. And even the father, not to throw trash. If you eat finish, you pack up your trash.
All right, let's give the people a good idea as to what is expected of them and what is expected of you. You expect them to stop illegal structures, shanties, umbrellas on roads, houses, shops. Are we talking about all roads, or are there select roads or houses that are supposed to be
mostly our municipal metropolis? You get me? They need to. You see, if you come to Anambra, OCHA is the capital.
Right.
You get me? It will look unfair that you have a visitor. You tell the visitor when you get to the garage, a care garage, and see people moving up sentiment, selling at the roundabout. When you ask them, they will tell you the market operator, the market chairman gave me ticket. If somebody gave you ticket to go and die, you get me? So the essence of sensitizing there is to tell them life has no duplicate. And if you pollute your environment, you will be the first person that will inherit the cost. You get me? Immediately a nasal cavity return negative information to the optical nerve. The cerebral and cerebellar will start dancing negatively. You get me? Your body chemistry will tell you no. So for us not to do, because in Igbo they say, Iyarebu, onye ga-apa, onye ga-akwa. You get me? The essence of we the servant is to give that caution to our wards and our people, to tell everybody to join hand and make Anambra to be the Dubai.
So there are areas you expect this to be more prominent. Not all areas.
No, every area, every whether local or something, and you need not, because issue of building shanty or sort of nature usually lead to criminality.
Okay.
You get me?
Right.
You know what the Genesis 3:1 said. You get me?
Including trading, street trading, including street trading everywhere.
You have to trade, but you shouldn't be on the street, you shouldn't be on pedestrian bridge, you shouldn't be under the pedestrian bridge, you shouldn't be on the walkway.
Okay.
You get me? We spell it out. A person going with chippings or sort of nature with an articulated vehicle, you need to tapolite it. You get me? The person, there are some people who are clearing it there, shaft and the trashes. You have to carpet it and close it very well. Not when you are carrying the dustbin to go to the recycle or the receiving end. Half of it will drop on the way.
All right,
done any job. You've not done it.
Right, Comrade, let's look at the drainages. You said they should stop indiscriminate dropping of waste. Yes, I'm wondering how well are the personnel of OCHA Brigade distributed? Because when you go to even areas like this Obosi Road, towards Onko, you see drainages always littered, always filled up, and remitting air pollution. Right? And I'm wondering who is supposed to enforce it. Obviously, OCHA Brigade. But you hardly see OCHA Brigade in this area. So I'm wondering your personal strength, the staff strength of OCHA Brigade. Are they going to implement this?
It's one of our prayers
yes.
for them to step up the number of personnel. It's going gradual. It's going any hot soup, you have to lick it gently. If you indulge in it, you burn off here, So I'm still praising our solution governor. I told you now, when Comrade Celestine Anere entered in 2022, again, the first group that went for training to join the 300 benchmark was 145. And again, this year now, as at August, 200 was approved. OCHA Brigade doesn't just come up and say, we want so and so number. It is because we are servant to the government. We are statutory corporate men.
Okay, maybe we should use this opportunity to tell the government.
We have already put it in our prayer.
Right.
It will be in our prayer for them to step up more, so that every nook and cranny, even the 3 zones, we still have two other what they usually call outposts to reach the hinterland. But that is in your own hand and also in the hand of everybody. To also join hands and tell the solution governor and tell his lieutenant, the commissioners, to get me. OCHA Brigade need this so that they will
we need more people, because the air pollution is too much. People are still dumping waste in the gutters, in the drainages, and we need a step up from the government.
Well, Comrade, I believe if we are going to, achieve a clean and healthy Anambra State, both ASWAMA or OCHA Brigade, all of them will have to work hand in glove to ensure that everything is as it's supposed to be.
That's why I mentioned the leverage system.
Yes.
And they're doing that.
Yes.
Doing that. You see the press briefing, which the commissioner for environment, engineer Dr. Felix Odimegu. I think you saw the OCHA Brigade
yes.
You saw the ASWAMA one, and the one as at last 2 days, all of them were at the 3-arm zone in Aroma. You get me? Checkmating those who are using leg to cross the road, endangering their life. So we have that perfect synergy. And we pray that the citizens will also join hands. That's why I say issue of environmental orderliness and cleanness is for everybody, even you.
Yes, comrade. Yes, comrade. I'm actually heading somewhere, because when I said both of them should work hand in glove, I'm talking directly to ASWAMA. Yes, I'm talking directly to ASWAMA. The fact that they should make right provision for people to dump their refuse, because there are some persons that for months they've not seen any visit from ASWAMA. Yes, exactly. So they should also checkmate that, because I believe
aggregators.
Yes, I believe if people have the right method to dispose their refuse, that there won't be littering around our environment.
And also for the citizens to adhere to instruction.
Yes.
Because at times, I could still remember in 2027, I personally, I used to champion the cause with the former MD CEO, Amecho Koha of ASWAMA. We come up early in the morning, the whole of a Koka down to Amobia, any person that dump trash on the median of the road, the person will be. But if you happen to arrest them and hand them over to legal authority, I don't want to, call them, before you spell jack, you see the person giving you waka. So everybody must join hands, because issue of law doesn't have, in Britain, you can be twin and you beat up the traffic. And this one is Peter. He said, Peter, they have booked me. He will tell you, Peter, I'm not the one. It is the Lord that wants you.
It's okay. My comrade, with the discharge and this list we have with me here, I've tried to go through it. And
it's just the summary. 14 topical provisions and protections.
Okay. In all, I've not seen where they say a kind of urinating on the gutter.
It's there.
Indiscriminate urinating and defecating.
You want to cause cluster confusion.
Look at it. That's number 3. Number 3. Stop indiscriminate urination, defecating at an unauthorized. You see the whole place from MCC down. You see the wonderful thing they're working.
Okay.
But immediately,
my complaint, is there any provision for urinating? I'm not talking of
they have conveniences.
Some like in this Obosi here now, from Junction down to Akora where we are, down there, you can't see any public facility.
You should champion the cause.
No, it should be a collective duty.
No. We do that. You know why I say that's why I say
because
it is a collective assignment.
Because it's a serious problem in this
big institution like this.
In a
home,
Comrade.
What is there, and you people are here. You shouldn't allow that.
Comrade. That was why when we started, I asked the question of any complaint from people you expect to obey the law. And so a complaint like this, like you have not provided a means of.
I said,
yes.
It may not be ubiquitous. It may not be everywhere.
Right.
Have you get me? But sparingly, get to some of them like Onitsha, I think get down to Headbridge. You see some of the park, you see some of filling station, they don't have convenience before. again, they have. They will show you the public one.
All right.
But you know, people with their negative mindset, you know, immediately if the person is pressed, you want to do the, and when the person is 2-3 people do the, you can.
All right. All right. Comrade, we really have to go now. There is also the issue of mobile court. Is it going to be in operation? I've heard something about mobile court. Are you going to be, using mobile court to prosecute?
That is
instant prosecution. Court, yeah. Yes. Is it going to be enforced?
OCHA Brigade, we have our charge.
Okay.
We are being authorized. We are being appointed as the first security task force of Anambra State. What is that our work? To arrest defaulters and hand them over to the legal authority.
Okay.
Who are the legal authority, police and the court. Then on interface, because somebody remains to be a suspect until you prove the person beyond reasonable doubt. So if it is the one that demanded, because we are not working alone, we are attached with a Ministry of MOJ, Ministry of Justice. If they are tired or they have problem, they can have their interface with DPP, Director of Public Prosecution. So we are not alone. They are working on secondment with us. Immediately they notice that your crime is becoming a different thing. Our legal state lawyer will go and get a summon. The next you face the court. If it is the one that will be instant, again we face. But our goal is to arrest and hand over for prosecution.
All right. So wish you all of the best. We really need this environmental sanity as far as Anambra State is concerned, and all of the concerns that have been raised. We hope that the state government will take care of them. So all of the best. We have been speaking with Comrade Agbafune Anthony Onyekwelu, Deputy Managing Director, Superintendent General, and Public Relations Officer, OCHA.
Also the PM. I double as the PM.
Right.
The manager in charge of every worker for Brigade.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck again.
Family. I belong to you people too.
Right.
Odenigbo family.
Right.
Anything pertaining to the media, because we are the life wire.
Right.
Again, we have not to mix it to continue enlightening it, because you remember what I said in Genesis 3. It said, "Let there be light."
Comrade, let's leave it here. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. The conversation continues tomorrow. My name is Njideka. See you again.
And I am Favor Gilbert. Thank you for listening.